is Karen from the Dorsch branch of the Monroe County Library System. In this episode of Dorsch Discovers Downtown, we're going to head to the Conservatory. We're going to talk to Stuart Eastman, and he is going to share with us his knowledge and love of all sorts of plants. He has really unique plants, and so we're going to go and share what we know learn from him. Hello, everyone. We're here with Stu from the Conservatory, and we're just going to ask you about different things about plants. And first of all, we want to ask how you got started in this.
Yeah. So, do you want me to take the mic?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to be here for 2 hours. No, I'm kidding. So I got into the plant business. Really, I guess I got into plants when I was a young kid. My mom had almost as many plants in our house as in this shop, and so when I was a young or a little boy, my mom had me doing a ton of chores with watering, and I actually hated plants when I was a kid. But when I graduated college with a teaching degree, I moved to South Carolina, and I made a ton of friends, but it just wasn't home for me. And Monroe Public Schools was gracious enough to extend a hand, and I got my second teaching job at the high school. And then in 2016, my mom, she died of a surprise heart attack. And a month and a half later, my dad died. And so overnight, I became the instant guardian of my sister Andrea, who has special needs. And I just realized that my life as a teacher for a minute was going to be paused, and I went into real estate. Realized that I made a lot of money, but my heart wasn't in it like it was with teaching. And so I went back to teaching at Orchard, and well, 2020 hit, and so did the pandemic, and I realized that I only have one life, and I want to use it chasing my dreams. And yeah, so I did, and I thought to myself, look, if I can make a plant store in Monroe, Michigan, work in the middle of a pandemic, I can make this plant shop work through any kind of economic turmoil we might encounter. So yeah, that's how I got into it, and I stayed into it because of the people. I love my job. Every day is like that experience with Christmas morning where you can't get to sleep because you're excited about the day or the next day and who you're gonna see and what's gonna happen. And it truly is every day waking up like it's Christmas morning. And it brings a tear to your eye when people come in and they have driven from Trenton, Novi, Ferndale, Toledo. They've walked here from around the block. When people come in because you've created something so beautiful for them, that in itself is more than any reward I could have ever gotten. That kind of validation from my community. You know what I mean? It is just so awe-inspiring to know that you built something that people journey to enjoy, that someone takes their family here. We've had people who've come in here with their parents, and then one time they didn't, and I was like, hey, where's your mom? And they were like, she passed away, and this is my first time in the store without her, and I'm crying because I've lost my parents, they're crying, and people who are grieving oftentimes get plants and funerals, and so they come in and they're like, this plant is 18 years old. This is when my sister died when I was 15 years old, and this is a part of her, and can you repot it? I'm scared to lose it. And I'm choking up now because that happens, and that is just so special to me that our community comes to us for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's just something really beautiful about that. And that's what keeps me going in it. So I started it because I wanted to chase a dream, and I'm in it because I love the people.
Beautiful. Yeah. So can you share with us, you talk about taking care of plants. I do not have a green thumb at all. So could you share with us what steps to take?
Oh, absolutely. I would be delighted to. So really, when it comes to the most basic plants, you cannot go wrong with a ZZ or a snake plant. They are the easiest plants almost in the entire planet. at least that I know of. Because ZZs can actually live in just fluorescent lighting. So they're perfect for offices, they're perfect for basements, they're perfect for like dark apartments or dorms. And snake plants are almost as easy. They can't quite live in just fluorescent lighting, but they can live in low light. Now, both plants prefer to be in moderate or bright, but they can tolerate that low light. But they can also tolerate really, really bright light. So if you get bored with it in your basement, you can throw that thing on a patio in the middle of summer and it will be as happy as a clam. They both don't need to be watered a ton, and which is actually the reason most people kill their houseplants. Over 98% of people kill their houseplants because of overwatering. And so with these guys, they're set it and forget it. If you remember the last time you watered it, you're overwatering it. So those are the two basic plants that I would recommend. But for almost any plant that we sell here in the store, we like to get plants that aren't going to die on people, because really this is an investment. It's like a piece of furniture. It's a $25 piece of furniture that you hope isn't going to die. And I never want anyone to feel like they aren't capable of taking care of this plant in their home, because no one wants to spend $50 and 2 weeks later it's dead. Yeah. It's like buying groceries, you know what I mean? Like when I buy like grapes, I'm like, I'll eat healthy forever. And then like day by day, they rot in my fridge. So no one wants that. And so a lot of our plants do really well in low to moderate light. Moderate light is basically if you can see the sun coming in, and if you extend your like left hand or your right hand and touch the window, and then extend this hand at the same time, this range, like this, will be bright light. And then anything, if you like twirl or anything to the left of your left hand, will be moderate light. And then like further down is low light, obviously. But yeah, so most of our plants thrive in low to moderate light with watering probably once every 7 to 10 days.
So I want you to share with me what plants are safe for pets, because I have a dog and I don't want anything happening to him. So can you share what are safe for pets?
Oh, my pleasure. So one of the things that we love here at the conservatory is fur babies. And we put more priority on your fur baby than we do on your plant baby. And unfortunately, most plants just don't like being eaten, and I can't imagine why. And so they have developed, just part of their evolution, what is called oxalate crystals. And oxalate crystals is just a fancy word for giving the cell the building blocks to make a really firm structure. So the difference between like a plant and an animal cell is that like I can pull my cell, and they most of the time, I'm getting older, will elastic band back into place. Plants don't really do that. If you snap their like branch, it's not going to grow back. It's not going to just snap back. And because of that, those oxalate crystals give those plant cells that structure. Well, unfortunately, those crystals, when they are in like a human body or in an animal body, they actually disrupt the cellular function and destroy the cell, which is why they're toxic to plants and animals. So we have a really good selection of pet-friendly plants. The best plant I would recommend is going to be a Ponytail Palm, which is right over there, and I know you guys can't see it, so I apologize. But they are so cool and they are so easy. They are one of the easiest plants in the store. They do like moderate to bright light. They can survive in low light, but it'd kind of be like if someone handed me like a baggie of salad, like, and they were like, survive. I'm like, oh, I need my Panera blueberry muffin. No, thank you. And so it is. Don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, so the Ponytail Palm is really easy, and they thrive in that moderate to bright, and you also don't have to water them very frequently. Usually it's every 2 weeks to a month, depending on the size of the plant. But yeah, so they are a good one, and then this is also a good one. I can show you this guy right here. So this is a Neanthibella palm, also known as a parlor palm, and this guy is great for cats and dogs, though cats, it provides a very, very mild hallucinogenic. So it's the equivalent of if we took like a shot of vodka. Not toxic, not poisonous whatsoever. But you might see your cat like slurring their meows a little bit. They shouldn't be able to drive home. Some little cat humor for you. So that's a pet-friendly plant, and as well as this guy here. So this is a peacock calathea, yeah, and these plants though are a little bit trickier to care for, only because they love distilled water. And if you water them with tap water, they will immediately become a bougie brat and die on you. Yeah, they would not eat at a McDonald's or a Taco Bell. They would be going to a sit-down restaurant. But yeah, they are also pet-friendly as well. So yeah, we got a lot of selections for you.
Also, I noticed that you have a lot of like rare plants that you have. Can you tell us about those?
Oh, I absolutely can. So our rare plant cabinet, and we have a few of the rare plants like strewn throughout the store. One of the ideas of the shop is this sophisticated exploration. There is so much data behind like play, and what we love to do here at the shop is to put things strategically around the store so that people are looking for them. They're not organized, and it allows people to really immerse themselves in the experience. The only caveat is that cabinet, and that cabinet hosts all of our rare plants. And a lot of people are really intimidated by that cabinet, but most of the time we want people to open that door and have like the mist come out. It feels very much like Harry Potter. And so what we like to say is that they are rare because they are hard to get, not because of their care. So a lot of those plants in there are variations of plants that we have in the shop. So we have our Monstera albas, and they are albos, and they are directly related to the Monstera behind you. And so the care is the same, the moderate to bright light and water usually once a week. In our rare plants, we actually put them in sphagnum moss to help them propagate their roots a little bit more successfully. And so with that, we usually water every 3 to 4 days. But yeah, the care is not any more trickier on most of them than any plant that you would see out on the store. We just don't want someone to be like, here's a $450 plant and put it in like a dark corner or something like that. But yeah, they're beauties. They are truly beauties.
Can you share with us any other information, your hours, and maybe any classes that you might have?
Oh, yeah. So our hours are, we are open from Monday through Friday from 11 in the morning until 7 at night. And then on Saturday, we are open from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. So yeah, those are our hours. Please come and see us. We would be honored, truly. And we also host a lot of classes. So a lot of the information that we covered here, we actually go into a 2-hour like deep dive during our classes. And so some of our classes are like Repotting 101 classes. We have painting pottery classes. We have how to do dirt classes, how to propagate your plants. We have living sculptures. We have how to take care of rare plants. And the class that we just added, or we're about to add, are tissue culture classes. And so we're going to be taking tissues from rare plants and then propagating them and cloning them in petri dishes for people and showing them how to do it. And then we're going to be selling those kits here at the store. So people can propagate their own rare plants for 45 or 50 bucks instead of spending, you know, 450 on something. So yeah, so we have a ton of classes. We also do private events. We're having a wedding here in about a month and a half. We do plant rentals for businesses and also for weddings. So yeah, we're a one-stop shop for really any kind of need that you have. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Thank you. So if you don't mind, if you would like to kind of like point out some of the plants that you were sharing with us. All right, thank you.
Yeah. So, all right, gang, this is the Ponytail Palm. This is the biggest version of the Ponytail Palm. And it has these beautiful leaves. It looks like a great big, crazy like hairdo. And then you're gonna see the stump right here and then the pot. And so this guy is one of the easiest plants. I know it might look really intimidating, but he does have a lot of smaller siblings here at the store. But this loves that moderate to bright light. Water every, I would say a plant this size is probably once a month. You don't want to actually overwater these types of plants. So these are great for just like set it and forget it kind of plants or needs from people. And also with moderate to bright lighting. So this is that guy. And let's go around and look at other plants. So this guy over here, this hunking beast, is a Monstera Deliciosa. And it's called a Monstera Deliciosa because if it was in its natural habitat, it would actually develop fruit. But the reason why you don't see this fruit, and it is delicious. It is a mix between like a mango and a pineapple. But the reason why you don't see this like in commercial grocery stores is because if you eat the fruit before it is ripe, it is very poisonous or toxic, and it will kill you. So that's why you don't see them, because if someone bit into it and died, Kroger would be on the line. But this is also a great example of a plant that has those oxalate crystals in them. So this is one of the most toxic plants you can get if you have pets at your house. Now, I do want to make a distinction, because pets have to ingest this. If like you had a cat and it was just like rubbing its face on it, totally fine. If you had a dog that was licking the leaf, totally fine. It's when they bite it and ingest it is when it's toxic. And if they got like a little nibble, depending on the size, nothing might even happen. I have a little min pin, and if he were to eat a leaf this size, he would die. But a golden retriever probably would just throw up or get sick, maybe even have diarrhea. So I do like to tell that to people, so that way they know that they can have them around as long as the animal isn't eating on it. All right, so we're gonna do a little repotting with the two easiest plants in the entire store, our ZZ plant and our snake plant. And so we're both going to do one. So this is just a really quick repotting demo. We do these for people when they come in, and we have our little repotting booth over there, which is where this dirt came from. And we just kind of give people a really small crash course in how to repot their plant for them. So the easiest thing and the first thing that you always want to do is find a pot, and I know you can't really see it in here because we put this sticker on it, but you want to find a pot that has a drainage hole. Plants absolutely need a drainage hole. The cutest, best pots I've ever found were at Target. They always do not have a drainage hole. So if that is you, we do have a drill bit. You are more than welcome to come on in, and we'll pop a hole in it as long as you're okay with us accidentally breaking it. But both of these have drainage holes, and then the very first thing you want to do is provide like a little pillow for them. Or your new plant. Now this dirt, we usually moisten every morning, and I did not do that, so it's a little dustier than normal. But what's in it is a chunky mix of orchid bark, perlite, and then organic soil.
So the hole, I know you need for drainage, but is dirt and everything going to fall out of there? So
yes.
Am I too far ahead? You going to show me that later?
No. That is a great question. Because I forget that that is a genuine question for people. So yes, there will be a little bit of dirt, and there are stickers on these that usually pops out. But it's kind of like when you cram. Like if you had 10 people going through the same door, if they all try to go in through the same time, they all kind of stick. So once a little bit of dirt comes out, it's not usually a huge mess after. It's only if you're like pounding it on the table will it like pop out. But if you're at home and you're doing this, a little bit of dirt is normal when you're repotting. And so, yeah. So you will have a little bit of dirt, but it'll pack in there, and it won't cause further mess.
So should we put like something underneath it to catch everything? Water or over watering or anything like that?
Yes, that is a great question. So if you go to water, I water all of my plants at home in the kitchen sink or in the bathtub, and that way I can just take like those attachments and just spray them really lazily. And so I don't really care if it gets messy, but we are about to get really beautiful like dishes. I can't remember what they're called, like saucers. There we go. To put your plant on so that the water stays in there instead of ruining your beautiful wood cabinet that you have it on. So great question. So then the second thing you want to do once you have a kind of a pillow of dirt is you want to take your plant and you want to give it a really good massage. You want to get it ready for its new journey. And so you're just going to firmly but kind of gently, you don't want to snap roots or anything, just squeeze the pot. And I'm going to hold the mic, and I'm going to have, yes, and I'm going to have you do the ZZ. Now the ZZ is tough because
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yes, they love to be root bound. Same with the snake plants, and so you really got to like go in and squeeze it.
Yeah, yours looked easy.
Oh, it was. I should have switched. I'm sorry. All right, so I think that's good. Okay. So then what we do, and I'm going to walk you through yours, is kind of like a ponytail. You're going to grab. Can you still hear if I do that? Okay, perfect. So what you're going to do is just grab it and then very firmly but gently just take it out. Perfect. Yep, and then you can just dump that dirt right in there.
I don't have any.
And that's okay. So that is actually very normal for ZZs. So what I also like to do is I like to inspect the roots. And for a snake plant or a ZZ, you're gonna have these big tubers, and yours looks really healthy. So you can tell a root system is healthy if you give it a squeeze and it doesn't feel like a flattened earthworm. And so you never want, you want a little bit of firmness, and you don't want anything soggy or that looks or feels or even smells like a flat, dead earthworm. And on a snake plant, it is very normal to have these orange roots as well. So if you see orange or even like a brown, as long as they're not like a squishy, rotting color, and you will know it right off the bat. Now, the root systems on these two plants are very different. So both of these are drought-resistant plants, but a snake plant, you can tell, is going to be more susceptible to root rot. Because if you killed this root here or a big root on this side, you basically cut off I-75 for this plant. This guy has really thick roots all over the place. He is a good candidate for a repotting. And you could overwater that just a smidge versus this guy. And then once you get him there, you pop him in, and then you can take that shovel and just fill it up with dirt and then press in the ground or press in the soil when you do it.
Just fill the whole thing up?
Just fill the whole thing up. Now, yep, perfect. I was just about to say, I like to turn mine so that it fills evenly all throughout it. You got a really easy repotting. All right, so yep, so you want to just turn the plant around so that way you're constantly getting in those crevices. Now what I like to do is, I apologize for stealing this from you.
No, go ahead.
It's just, I like to kind of put that dirt in there a little bit and just shove it in to make sure it's filling in all those spaces. Now that is very dry dirt.
Yes.
Don't ever let your dirt get like that at home. What you're trying to do is just get a basic covering over the dirt or over the roots. And then once that is there, you're A-okay. So a lot of people like when the dirt and the plant are like up at the actual level of the rim, but that's not necessary. It's whatever your your preference is.
So this looks good then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll pretend mine's done. And so what I'm gonna do is then with this, or anytime you repot something, you wanna give it a really good drink, and then just kind of let that soil just work its way, or that water work its way through that soil. And this is very typical for when you repot a plant, because water is polar, meaning that they love friends. They love to hold on to one another. And so when you have no water in the soil, there's no water to pull the water from. So then it has to very slowly make its way out of...
We were looking at the stick, didn't we?
We sure did. There we go, I just ripped it. So that is what you're looking for, that kind of drainage. And because this was really, really, really dry, I'm just gonna give it another good drink. And then also, notice how I'm pouring it right into the dirt. This will help refreshen this dirt so that way when people repot it later today, it won't be dry as bones. And now my hand is all filthy. And then that's all you have to do when you repot a plant. Yeah, and I'm just gonna pop that in there and let it do that. So you've repotted a plant. That was a crash course. And now you know how to do it.
Grab this real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a question for you. So people can come in and do that? Is it just for free to come over and to repot it and you just kind of help them through it?
Oh, absolutely. If you are interested in getting like a crash course, just like a very quick, here's how to repot, or if you're just like, I just want to repot this by myself, that station is open to anybody. You can use our pots, you can use your pots. Any dirt that's over there is totally free to use. But a lot of people bring in plants specifically for us to repot. And when we do that, we only charge you for the dirt that we use. And so a lot of people have like big monsteras that they want repotted, or a big peace lily they got from a funeral 18 years ago. And that's when we have to use usually like 2 buckets of dirt. And that's when we charge, but it has never gotten above $20. And that was for a plant we had to have a wheelbarrow to bring in and out. So yeah, bring on your plants. If you have something that is really sentimental to you or really special to you, and you're just a little too maybe intimidated or a little too nervous to do it, bring it on in and we'll repot it in the back for you. It usually, depending on the day you drop it off, takes us about a day or 2 to get to it, but we usually give you a call, or we will give you a call when it's done. So yeah, so if you are too intimidated to repot a plant on your own, bring it on in and we'll help you out.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, I would like to say a really quick thank you to the Monroe County Library System. Without it, I would not have been transported to all the wonderful destinations I did through books. And so if you don't have a library card, get one. My good friend Arthur the Aardvark used to say, having fun isn't hard when you have a library card. And it has a little cute song and everything to it. So I love the library. I'm so thankful for this outreach program. And yeah, I hope people come in and see you guys, because the library is great and it truly can make I think libraries and the public school systems are the great equalizers. So yeah, keep up the great work.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Oh,
I
my
enjoyed it so
pleasure.
much. All right,
truly the same.
And we're back here at the branch, and I want to thank Stuart for letting us view his business and share all his knowledge with us. So I just want to touch base with you and show you some books that we have available at the library. We have a ton of books about planning in different areas of it, and we even have some easy books for the children to enjoy. And also we have a few branches that are actually, we're starting, and here at Dorsch we're going to be starting this, where you can actually get some plants or cuttings from different plants, and you can just bring in old ones of your own cuttings and bringing it in to exchange. That's here at the Dorsch branch. We're going to start that. And it's also at Frenchtown, and Bedford also offers that. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video and you have a great day. Be safe. Bye.